Hey y'all, welcome to Barlow Barbecue. Glad you're with us. With me today is my friend John. What's up, man?
Hey man,
It's good to see you.
good seeing you.
John brought a little surprise with him. What'd you bring?
Brought a venison shoulder.
Yes. And you just recently took this deer down yourself. What'd you use?
I used a bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow, folks. All right. John's legit. All right. So we've got this venison blade roast, and we're going to do something a little untraditional. We're going to try to do a reverse sear with it. So I've got a Slow N Sear with my Weber Kettle Grill, and we are going to use that to cook up this venison with. So stay tuned, folks. First thing we want to do is hit the pit and get that going. Here we are at the pit. I got the Slow N Sear in my Weber Kettle Grill, and I lit about a quarter worth of charcoal in a charcoal chimney. That's what you see right there. Now I'm going to fill up the rest of the Slow N Sear with unlit charcoal. And I've got a couple pieces of some hickory wood here. Add a little smoke to that venison. And this looks good. I'm thinking we're going to shoot for 250, 275 in there. I'm going to get the thermometer on here and get this closed up. Let it come up to temp. Alright folks, here is our venison roast, and John has already taken the time to trim that off, trim off all of the silver skin and stuff like that, which is something you're definitely going to want to do. And we're going to season that right now with some salt, pepper, and garlic.
Yeah.
John, while you're doing that, tell us about how you took down that deer.
Well, I've taken a couple this season. I'm pretty sure this was a buck that I shot in the peak of the rut, which is when they like to run around fighting and doing other things that boys like to do. I rattled him in, which means that I took out some antlers. I beat them together. He came running in. And the interesting thing about it is he had recently been brawling. I could tell because he had lost an antler, which is, that's kind of like he probably got his ass kicked. Yeah, he came in and came running up this creek bed and just popped him behind the shoulder with an arrow.
Yeah,
and
that was it.
that's what happens. It's probably pretty good, huh? What you think, Matt? You're the grill master.
All right, folks, we're up to 279, so let's get the venison on. John's got that. Perfect. And we've got a probe going in there, so I'm going to attach that. Let's get this lid on here. Now we're just going to let this cook until the internal temperature of the meat gets to about, let's say about 110 degrees. And at that point, that's when we're going to take it and sear it over direct heat. Folks, it's been about 30 minutes, and I think the venison is ready to sear. So my charcoal's looking pretty good here. That is almost ready to go. The venison right now is about 118 degrees internal temp, and we're going to cook that to about 145 degrees. It's kind of an experiment, folks, so I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. All right, folks, here we go. And I think I'm going to give it about a minute or so on each side, maybe a minute to 2 minutes. I think we've cleared a minute on this side. Let's flip her up. I'll give it a little longer on that side, maybe a couple minutes. Another couple minutes. Tell you what, folks, it is smelling absolutely delicious out here. Turn it around a little bit here. Folks, I think we're real close. I just took the temperature and we're creeping up to like 143. Check this side, give it one more flip. Okay, we're about 155 degrees. I'm going to take this off and let this rest for, let's give her about 5-10 minutes, maybe a little bit more. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Ready to slice into this guy. Got my handy dandy everyday carry Kershaw right here. Looks pretty good, folks. All right, here is the moment of truth. We want to thank John for dropping this venison off. He had to skedaddle. He's a family man. He's got a son he had to go pick up and do a little grocery shopping. So, John, thank you very much for letting us try this. Martha, let's try some venison. Now,
That's great. That's so good.
flavor is really good. A beautiful crust on the outside from the seasoning and that reverse sear. Really good. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. We hope you appreciated this video. We appreciate you guys and all your support. You mean a lot to us. We love you. And we're going to say until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That's right.
Bye-bye.